What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite for another spicy video here for you guys on a Saturday night. We're going to be talking about 2 new maps coming to Black Ops Cold War, some confusion about the DLC 3 perk, and even another remake coming to the next Call of Duty. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, because about 65% of you that watch my videos aren't subscribed. So make sure you guys are getting notifications every time I update you on Black Ops Cold War. Also, hope you guys like my brand new intro here for the channel. I had my other blue intro for about 2 years. I think I had that one made right before the final operation of Black Ops 4, so it was time for an update. Hopefully you guys do like that. Leave all your feedback on it down below in the comments. Also drop a firework emoji down in the comments if you're going to be celebrating the 4th of July tomorrow. Very curious what you guys are going to be up to. I may or may not end up dropping a special 4th of July video for you guys as well. Still working on it, and I'll drop it as soon as I can. Now, we do have a long double XP weekend in Black Ops Cold War and Warzone right now, which lasts until July the 6th. Double XP and double weapon XP. Take advantage of that while you guys can. You still have over a month left to finish ranking up for Season 4 or finishing the Season 4 Battle Pass on top of that. Now, Treyarch confirmed the following playlist changes to Black Ops Cold War this past week. This past week was fairly zombies focused, lots of zombies marketing, and I posted quite a few zombies videos here on the channel. And don't you worry, if you guys still are interested in my Transit Zombies intro, that one isn't going anywhere. I'll be using it for specifically zombies videos. But we do have Nuke Jacked, a combination of Nuketown and Hijacked over in multiplayer. We have Collateral Combined Arms 24/7, the throwback mosh pit featuring all the remakes or remasters over in Black Ops Cold War multiplayer. We then have aim assist fixes for the Pack-a-Punch nail gun. We then have the Modertow and Intel Roundup, which I'll have linked down below in the description. I already went over that in a previous video. And of course, the extended double XP weekend. So not too much was added this past week. And of course, we're very close to the mid-season update of Season 4. It'll probably be July the 15th if I had to take a guess, but the very latest, July 22nd. We also have 3 bundles that went live in the shop this past week, and you guys may have seen this already, but we of course have the Hat Trick bundle for the Legend herself, Perk. We then have the Tracer Pack, the Salah Operator bundle, which comes with the Komodo Dragon finishing move. Let me know if you picked this one up down below in the comments. This is definitely a pretty fascinating pack here. I think the Operator pets overall in Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War are a great addition to the franchise, and obviously this one definitely one-ups the Snow Leopard that got added last season. Definitely pretty sick. I would then have the Fireworks Tracer Pack to go along with the 4th of July bundle, and of course this is the closest we're going to get to a 4th of July event in Black Ops Cold War this year. Would have been cool if for a day they added like a limited time mode or something where every time you kill an enemy they explode into fireworks or something similar to the death effects in Black Ops 4, but at the very least you have a 2400 COD point pack to celebrate the holiday with, and more bundles will be announced earlier next week, and of course more bundles will be leaked out on Call of Duty Tracker once we end up getting the Season 4 Reloaded patch on all platforms out there. Now, I also wanted to go over a quick glitch that got discovered yesterday, and be aware of this, right? There is a new glitch in Black Ops Cold War multiplayer allowing players to get their hands on 5 weapons at once. So this is a mule kick on steroids, so to speak. Not just 4 weapons, or even 3, which is crazy, but 5. So I'm not sure how this became a glitch. I'm not sure how people even found things like this. And that's the thing with glitches, right? Across multiplayer, zombies, even Warzone. I always question, right? How do people even come across glitches like this? But I guess that's the way Call of Duty works, right? So be aware of this problem. I know for a fact people have reported in Black Ops 4, people are somehow using jetpacks in that game's multiplayer. And it makes sense as to how that glitch exists, since jetpacks from Black Ops 3 reported into Blackout in the form of an LTM, Heavy Metal Heroes. Somebody figured out how to reverse engineer that and bring those into the multiplayer, which is hilarious. And you know what? Just about every previous Call of Duty multiplayer has issues like this. Some, unfortunately, suffer sooner than others. I know in Black Ops 3 there's an active camo glitch, people have unlimited perks. It sucks to see, because those games are fantastic. But now when it comes to 2 new maps coming to Black Ops Cold War, so this is reported by the lad himself, the Modern Warfare 2 Ghost, which we'll be talking more about him later in the video as well. He went ahead and reported that the maps known as Plaza and Yemen from Black Ops 2 are going to make their way into Black Ops Cold War, very likely in Season 5. He mentioned Plaza and or Yemen, so it looks like both of these maps are coming back without a doubt, but it's a question as to whether or not both of these will drop at once in Season 5, or will they be split up, you know, one for Reloaded, one for the next season. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, one could even be a surprise for Season 4 Reloaded for all we know. We know for the rest of Season 4, we're going to be seeing Rush added to multiplayer and Onslaught, but what if there's another surprise map added to that? But when it comes to those maps specifically, I understand Plaza. I think that was definitely one of the community's favorites back during Black Ops 2 cycle, but Yemen kind of has me scratching my head because the map was alright. It wasn't a fan favorite in my eyes, but you guys can disagree with that down below in the comments. I don't know what you guys are thinking, right? How does it make sense to see maps that take place in 2025 being brought into Black Ops Cold War? They already made this work with maps like Raid, Express, Hijack, so this doesn't really surprise me. And like the Modern Warfare 2 Ghost reported in the past, we're going to be seeing more Black Ops 2 remakes at least until Season 5, but there are Black Ops 1 multiplayer remakes planned for Season 6. Which has me excited because, as I've stressed how many times in the channel now, there are so many maps in Black Ops 1 that people out there probably don't even remember exist. To the point where if they add those back into Black Ops Cold War, they'll still be like quote-unquote new maps to most people out there that didn't play Black Ops 1 or that game's DLC season. The Black Ops 2 maps are probably a bit more memorable, so when you see those maps added to this game, it's like, alright, yeah, it's a remaster, we all get it, but so many Black Ops 1 maps that deserve the spotlight as well. But that also reminds me of two things, right? Number one, Black Ops Cold War is a direct sequel to Black Ops 1, and a lot of Black Ops 1 maps would fit very well in this game because they take place in the same time period, but since this is kind of a Black Ops 1.5, I guess you could say it makes sense to see Black Ops 2 maps in this game since it's kind of a prequel to Black Ops 2, so to speak, as we're learning with the storyline in the CGI cutscenes. But it's also going back to a point that I made many times as well, and that is that Activision is remastering Black Ops 2 in a bit of a different way. Instead of bringing us just a faithful Black Ops 2 remastered with campaign, multiplayer, maybe even a zombies, they're just bringing back all the multiplayer maps, or at least the most amount possible, and bringing them back one-to-one for this game. They've heard our feedback. They know the people out there want a Black Ops 2 remastered, but if that ever happens, we of course have to see World at War and Black Ops 1 first. But that probably isn't going to happen either. At the very most, maybe a campaign remaster for those three Treyarch games, but multiplayers are very unlikely, right? That is not the approach that Activision is going with for the Call of Duty franchise, but multiplayer remasters don't really work for their schedule, right? It's all about longevity for them. You know, adding in battle passes, new seasons, new content, and then integrating all of that with Warzone on top of that. And now that we got a rumor that Treyarch's next Call of Duty in 2023 will be a Black Ops 2 era type Call of Duty in the future, then that kind of has me thinking that we might end up seeing a lot of these Black Ops 2 maps brought back yet again for that game, if that game is in a similar time period. It's also interesting to think about, right? People out there aren't really happy about a World War II Call of Duty, even though we haven't seen footage of it yet. Let's wait for that. People out there are already advocating for going back to the future, so I hope the community is still interested in that and still wants that by the time the next Call of Duty cycle rolls around in 2023. And let's see, right, if the game takes place in the future without jetpacks, then it's essentially going to be a Black Ops 2 style remake, and it's unclear how that'll fit into the Black Ops canon, but it could of course cover the 30 years in between the past and future storylines of the Black Ops 2 campaign, and even go beyond that, right, get some David Mason continuation, which Black Ops 3 should have done, but of course didn't. Now when it comes to the confirmation about DLC 3's Perk, which is Mule, I wanted to give my thoughts on this real quickly. I kind of talked about it a bit on the podcast last night, but in case you guys missed that, then Mule is the next perk coming in Season 4 Reloaded, and in my personal opinion, they should have just dropped Mule in the Wonder Fizz machine, maybe when Operation Inversion dropped for Outbreak in Season 3, and then when Modern Toten comes out, they could have two new perk machines on that map, both Double Tap and Mule Kick. That would have made the most sense, and PhD to me always felt like the perk they're going to save for the finale of Black Ops Cold War Zombies, whether it's the Last Survival map or Remake map pack. Who knows what that's going to be at some point, but I definitely didn't expect Mule Kick before Double Tap, since it does seem like Double Tap is the perk that is needed right now to balance out the buff that was made to high rounds. Now, I'll put a tweet on screen so you can see. Rizzo out there put some math together and kind of explain why Double Tap isn't necessarily needed in this game, but I still think the community definitely wants it, and it's a fan favorite, so why not bring it back? And we know it already leaked many months ago with the Dark Ether perk jingle, so we are going to end up seeing this at some point, but I guess the confusion that has been raised by the community is how we're going to see Double Tap in PhD, right? Will there be 2 more survival maps added before Season 6? Or will there be 1 more survival map in September, like Tom Henderson reported, and then we're going to get a map pack of remakes at some point when Vanguard is out, which brings us another perk? I mean, lots of questions with how this is going to work, but I do have a theory, of course, that we're going to be getting 1 more survival map after Modern Toten, so whatever DLC 4 is, that might wrap up the season for Black Ops Cold War, but then at some point, maybe when Vanguard releases, or maybe even a tad bit before that, we could see a new region added to Outbreak in its own separate playlist, let it be Green Run or something else, and maybe it's just one big whole open world area with a new perk machine on it, whether it's PhD or whatever, and then you take the bus from area to area to do different objectives, right? That could be a new version of Green Run or a new Outbreak experience entirely that isn't a round-based map that still brings us a new perk. But when it comes to Mule Kick, I'm like, look, it already takes quite a while in-game. Unless you're going for high rounds, it takes a while to fully max upgrade your weapons, whether it's fully pack-a-punching them with all your points or upgrading the weapon rarity using salvage or ether tools. So it takes a while to do that with 1 weapon, let alone 2, so add a 3rd one into the mix, and I just don't see a reason to have a third weapon unless you max upgrade 2 weapons, right? You max pack them, get them to legendary rarity, then you have your third weapon as a wonder weapon, right? Maybe that's what Mule Kick's going to be used for most of us out there that play the Machina, Firebase, or even Outbreak, and then Modern Totem later on, of course. So I'm curious how the perk's going to work, and the upgradable tiers have me really intrigued. Will one of the upgradable tiers be a classic perk from Black Ops 4, like Bandolier Bandit? Even though we have plenty of ammo in this game as it is, right? You get plenty of ammo for killing elites, and then you could buy it from some of the weapon caches. So Bandolier Bandit isn't really needed, but let me know in the comments, what should the tier 5 ability be for Mule Kick? Could it be even the ability to hold 4 weapons, similar to the Richtofen Endgame reward back during Black Ops 2, where you were able to hold 4 weapons at once with a permanent Mule Kick and a permanent fire sale? That would be very interesting to see. So wouldn't be surprised to see, you know, a different perk brought back in the form of a tier for these Mule Kick upgrades. But we'll have to wait and see whenever a blog post does release for Modern Totem. Now we also have an update regarding Call of Duty 2021. Charlie Intel also reported that the internal alpha for this game was added to the back end of the PlayStation Store. People out there figured out that it is a total of 35 gigabytes right now. So the alpha for this game may end up dropping in early September, similar to both Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War's alphas, which of course were exclusive to PlayStation since it's a part of the Sony and Activision deal, and that's of course going to stick with this game as well. But will the alpha contain something for multiplayer, like one mode or a couple? Will this be just a campaign mission? We'll of course have to figure that out once we get close to the release of the alpha, but right now 35 gigabytes does make sense for the size of an alpha itself. It's of course codename Slipstream, which we talked quite a bit about in a previous video that I'll have linked down below in the description. Slipstream gives us a bit of a hint as to what kind of sci-fi type story we're going to see in this game, dealing even with aliens. I know one thing I forgot to mention in that previous video that I discovered a couple of hours after I posted it was that in DLC 4 of World War II, in the map pack itself, there was a new war mission which actually had a UFO in it, Operation Arcane I believe it was called. And that kind of goes along with, you know, some sci-fi stories and some fiction that has been told over the years that the Nazis did use alien technology during the Second World War. That, of course, didn't happen, but, you know, that's a really interesting opportunity for some storyline that could be told in this World War II game that differentiates it from the game they dropped in 2017, which was more of a historically accurate Call of Duty, whereas this one can go in a different direction entirely that lines up with the rumors that this was going to be an alternate take on World War II where we didn't win, the Allies lost. So I'm curious how aliens are going to play a role in the upcoming Call of Duty. But the Modern Warfare 2 Ghost then reported that Terminal is going to be brought back in World War II Vanguard. So that's already, you know, a bit different from what we would have expected. I know Sledgehammer has been able to bring back Infinity Ward maps in their titles, whether it's Advanced Warfare or World War II, since they of course co-developed Modern Warfare 3 along with Infinity Ward back in 2011. So it doesn't really surprise me that we're going to see Terminal, since the Modern Warfare 2 Ghost also reported about last week that there's going to be a fan favorite map from a fan favorite game brought back into Vanguard. Will it be a pre-order bonus? Will it be a map being saved for Season 1 of that game? Anything could change from now until the reveal of September's next project, but will this be a one-to-one remaster similar to what Black Ops Cold War is doing, where they just bring back the exact same map from whatever game it's from, regardless of the time period that the current game is set in, and just plop it into the multiplayer? Or will it have a bit of a reskin to fit the era of the Second World War? I assume that's what they're going to do, but I'm curious if Treyarch will ever have the allowance again to also remake maps and change the aesthetic and themes of them like they used to do back during Black Ops 2 and 3. They didn't do it in Black Ops 4 at all, and they're not doing it in Black Ops Cold War either, so I'm curious if Sledgehammer also has to follow that same structure that Activision may have established recently, or will they have the allowance of doing what we're used to, which is bringing a map back, but changing the theme of it to fit the Call of Duty game that it's in. Let me know in the comments what other maps should be brought back in World War II Vanguard. Should they bring back more maps from Sledgehammer's last Call of Duty, or should they stick with some fan favorites that were in Modern Warfare 3 or even Advanced Warfare? Leave all your feedback down below. But last and definitely not least, real quickly, we talked about the report that Black Ops 4 is going free to play with PlayStation Plus on July the 6th. And that's great for everybody out there who hasn't experienced the beauty of Blackout or that game's Zombies mode. But I wanted to go over real quickly something that you guys may have missed, and that's a bit of a pattern that Activision is going with. So I'm not sure if this is just coincidence because PS Plus offers free games every now and again, or if this is a part of the Activision and Sony deal. So since we've seen the Sony deal, we've had games like Modern Warfare Remastered, Black Ops 3, and World War II go free to play. I believe even Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered went free to play not too long ago. So we're looking at this bit of a cycle here where at least once a year we're getting a free Call of Duty at the PlayStation Plus. So what's next, right? Modern Warfare 2019 looks like it's up next to go free to play maybe about a year from now, which will make a lot of sense and line up with the potential sequel to Modern Warfare dropping in 2022. So it looks like at least once a year you'll be seeing a Call of Duty that's not that old going free to play entirely for PlayStation users out there. So I'm curious if this is a part of the deal between Sony and Activision, or is just a coincidence that Sony does this with PS Plus offers. But let me know in the comments, how do you feel about games going free to play, right? I think, at least if you're on PlayStation, this is a great opportunity for those that don't buy every Call of Duty, or for those that may have skipped out on some titles because of community backlash, or what you might have heard from your quote-unquote favorite YouTubers. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the possibility of seeing 2 more remakes from Black Ops 2 coming to Black Ops Cold War? How do you feel about Mule being the DLC 3 perk? And what are your thoughts about Terminal coming into Call of Duty 2021? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.